let's get right into this and start tackling the life idea again. First of all, one is, and I have a very small idea to really go on. Hopefully, rolls into more. Is basically that I call it deliberate misconceptions. It's when people deliberately misread you, mislabel you, misdescribe you. Right? They look at you like, for example, for example, with me to say, oh, he might look older, but he behaves like a child or something, and I go, no, I am an adult. I behave like an adult. You know what I mean? I may not have aged in the past 10 years. In over a decade, I may not have aged, but what I know, at least as of the current state, I know that that I'm an adult. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter whether you think that mentally or socially that I'm only 19 or 20 years old. I don't really care about that. You know what I mean? Because regardless of that, I would still be an adult, right? I also want to talk about the current and the weight. We sometimes put more weight on some things than other things, right? And that kind of shows what we care about more and care about less. You know what I mean? You don't always like I used to. So I'll tell you something. Being younger and growing up, I told you it was like I moved further away from myself rather than closer to myself as I grew older. And I'll tell you, people will throw guilt trips at you. A girl might say, "Well, I'm crying because of you because you don't want to see me anymore," for example. Something stupid, right? And you're like, for me, and I'll tell you honestly, in the past, I used to get guilted, and I found that my guilt led to weakness. Like, I felt weaker and weaker as people guilted me, and it could be anybody, anywhere in life, guilted me for whatever reason, and that's something else that I want to talk about. Prior to having this presence, prior to even being in this kind of enclave in the world, I gotta tell you, like I told you, I was living just through and other people around me and whatnot. I was at the bottom of my persona and ego, and that was kind of good because at the bottom of my persona and ego, nobody could really know who I was. We watched this major series in one of our second grade classes, and it was called The Prince and the Pauper. When the child prince has a lookalike who's a pauper or in poverty, and they get their places switched. You know what I mean? And anyways, that was a big deal. But I will tell you that every day for me was just a reset button. Like I literally just pressed the reset button every morning, man. Every morning I would just wake up and it was a reset and it was a different day. You know what I mean? I think I think envy is a sickness, and I attracted a lot of envy simply for how happy I was. You know what I mean? It's also why they called me crazy, because I was happier, I was saner, and it's crazy, It's someone says you're crazy because you're more sane and happier. What do I have to be so happy about? It's all with misconceptions. I know what type of guy. It's like, you do not know the type of guy that I am, man. You have no clue, man. You know what I mean? And back to deliberate misconceptions. Oh, he's this type of person, he's that type of person. People lying, making up stories. People lying just for their own political benefit, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't like being genuine just because I hate lying and I like being genuine. No, it's not that. That's who I am, and that's who I always have been, and I stay consistent. What else can we really talk about here? We were kind of focusing on life and like I said, we care about different things, man, and that really shows how much you really care about things. From something so nominal as your favorite color and a color that you don't like. You know what I mean? It could be that simple. What else can we talk about here? So I feel like I had really good content last night. I put extensive videos yesterday. The day before, I put extensive videos, and I felt really good about them. It's challenging for me sometimes. Sometimes I get right in there and I got a video going, and sometimes it's just so challenging where I can't come up with any kind of idea in my head, and I sit there going, why it's like writer's block, kind of, you know, when a writer writes 10 novels in a row and they're all best-selling, and then the 11th one, you know, that when he gets to that 11th novel, he's got a writer's block. He can't come up with anything. Sometimes I believe it's because we've put out so much content that, you know, our brains and our personalities are like, dude, I can only put on so much original good content. You know what I mean? At some point I need to kind of re-energize myself and get my mind going again, and that happens to me. I feel like sometimes, like, I didn't have a block for the last 2 days. I was posting these extensive videos, and then sometimes I get into a rut, and there's many days where I just got nothing going on and whatnot. The last thing that I want to say is of now, what's going on right now. You know, like I said, being in the world, like actually in the world, and as an adult, you can call it young adult or whatever you want, but as an adult, you know, in this world, one thing I can tell you is that, there again, I lost my thought again. I lost my train of thought, or my thought. I was saying that okay, in this world, as a young adult, so being in this world, you know, there's a lot of changes and growing that happens, and I can feel that now. I didn't feel that before. You know, I used to stay the same and not change anything, and now it's like, you know, changes happen so fast, and now I'm like, wow, now I can understand the world better. Being in the world, I can actually now understand the world better, rather than be a total outsider who can't feel or understand anything. Now I'm in this world. Now I'm playing here, and now I'm understanding, and again, it's a good feeling, and at least to be, why, you know, how are you gonna go party on this planet and have your own party in the party, right? Even if you are having fun and you're able to provide yourself with everything, you know, either way. Anyways, I think you know where I'm getting at. I'm trying to say that in the current time, you know, it's real. I'm changing, I'm growing, just like the world does, and I'm understanding a bit better. And that's a good thing. Like I said, it's like oxygen. People go, what's so special about you breathing in oxygen? Every being on this planet, there's a trillion beings on this planet that breathe in oxygen. It's like, okay, well, you know, for someone who didn't breathe in oxygen for over 3 decades, that's an amazing thing. Anyways, I'm done with this video. I do feel like I got another writer's block coming up, but I'll try my best to come back later. Stay tuned, stay put. Don't get off my channel. Don't say I've given up, I want to listen to other stuff. Don't say, oh, he hasn't posted in a while. Who is he? I already forgot him. Okay, because I'm here, you see me, you'll remember me, and you'll stay tuned till I give you a new video.